me my M&Ms.
Let's start with your names.
Pamela Marchand.
And Andrew Marchand.
And you live in?
Rockwood, Tennessee.
And what do you do?
I'm the Tennessee Ant-Man, and
I'm retired.
and she helps me with a lot of things. The COVID needed something to do, and I looked on YouTube, found a way to build a smelting pot, figured that'd be cool. And I saw somebody do it with an ant mound, and I was like, that's even cooler. So I literally started with a ladle in a fire pit. My first one was literally in a ladle in a fire pit. The majority of it comes from our house. We live in the sticks, and we have a lot of ants.
We've killed pretty much all of them, though.
My daughter gets into them. Due to the fact that we've had the rain for 2 days and we're not able to pour into the ground, we do Orbeez. And we started out doing Orbeez just regularly, just pouring the aluminum into the Orbeez bin, and you come out with all the geometrical shapes.
What are Orbeez?
They're the little water beads that you stick them in the water and they expand out. The reason why we're doing Orbeez today is because we've had rain for the last 2 days, and by dumping molten aluminum down in the ground at this current moment, we are creating a bad explosion, and that's no good for anybody. Like I said, on a wet day, by pouring the aluminum down inside the ground, the steam has nowhere to go, and it creates a combustion, an explosion. And this is what will come out of the ground. It literally fractures everything. I'm using right now what they call a 810. It gives me about 4 pounds of a liquid aluminum. Alrighty.
It slipped.
Yeah, it's okay. That's what the hook's for.
Tell me about what you do, Mom.
I do all the cleaning. That's it.
And as we're digging it up, if anything falls off, it becomes mine, from the plus mom art, ant art.
And that's where she gets all her wind chimes, and Christmas ornaments.
You don't mind doing this in the summer, but when it's cold,
Today we've got 3. We've got harvester, we've got bull ants, and we've got fire ants. Our next step is to encapsulate. We don't want the aluminum to go where we don't want it. Upon creating the gate here, the aluminum automatically wants to travel with gravity, and you end up getting an elongated piece. It's not an exact science, you just have to play with it. Sometimes you get an amazing piece and sometimes you don't.
How hot does it have to, what's the temperature that you need to melt the aluminum?
1400 degrees. 1400 degrees is the melting point. I usually bring it to about 18.
it went under. Can you see it down here? It's moved. See it? Right there. See the root? I think you got it.
Nice.
That's about the point where we start to, like I said, break out the pneumatic hammer and or hand clean it. You see the size of their chambers? The size of their chambers will tell you what kind of ant you're dealing with. The fact that they have these larger chambers tells me that they are harvester ants. Your fire ants will have a more tight-knit colony. It'll almost look like the neurons of a brain. It'll take Mom about a week to get what she can get out of it, and then when I get a hold of it, it might be 2 hours, it might be 6 hours. It really all depends upon the amount of rocks that are inside of it. This in particular, there's a lot of rocks in there due to the fact that it was on our driveway. But it is going to come out and look, it is going to be beautiful. 75% of the people love it. They think it's cool.
Amazing.
Amazing. Yeah, and then 25% of the people say, oh, well, what about the ants? I mean, technically, I'm not putting any poison in my yard, and it's safer for my daughter.
I want to buy a piece. What are you charging?
It all depends on the piece, really.
How much aluminum goes into it?
How much aluminum goes into it.
What kind of people buy this?
Oh God, every
Variety of people.
Yeah, big time.
I had a gentleman come by and he said, I would love to get this piece for my daughter. She is a science teacher at a school in...
Was up north.
I could not remember where. And he asked me, he goes, what would be the best thing you could offer me? I was like, listen, due to the fact that you're gonna bring it to your daughter, it's gonna go into a school. I barely charged him any money just because I was happy that it was going to learning.
Your wife and your daughter. Your daughter's your assistant. What does your wife think of what you do?
My wife is just tinkle pink that, you know, I have my own little hobby.
And Mom's making wind chimes?
Yes, wind chimes, Christmas
Why wind chimes? What caught your eye about this would make a good wind chime?
I just like it makes a nice noise. And different sized pipes make different noises.
Keeps the deer away from your yard.
That's for sure it does. I had to take them out of the backyard.
The 127 sale is it's pretty much a yard sale that spans 7 states.
600 miles.
It goes. It's
Michigan to Georgia.
Michigan to Georgia.
Every year, and it literally travels the 127 highway.
First weekend in August.
Where do you usually set up at?
In Crossville, Tennessee, by the cheese factory.
The Division of Labor. Who's the boss?
He is.
Good answer. Good answer. Is there anything else you want to tell me?
Live, laugh, and love.
Mm-hmm.